Hello and welcome. We are a group of students at Boise State studying games, interactive media, and mobile technology, and this is our final for Class 310 Mobile Application Development for Media. Our final project was to develop an AR application designed to support users with communication challenges. Our design helps nonverbal users communicate through a virtual PECS board that updates in real time depending on the user's location. The foundation for this project began early in our semester when our group was tasked with learning how to work with MapKit using Swift and Xcode. We found out that we loved the idea of adding notes, moods, and adjusting locations in their geographical zones to enhance a user's experience, and we believe that this could bring a new view on how apps could be used. After being asked by a professor to change a PECS board and be able to make it more accessible in our changing times, we thought that using location-based cards could be integrated into our PECS board and solve verbal communication challenges such as ordering drinks from a barista or learning about certain topics in a classroom, as well as being able to identify how certain locations make a user feel or what cards might be only available in certain areas. After being shown documentaries of nonverbal autism in children and their experiences, we began laying out our vision for a PECS board, which you can see here. Once we decided what we were able to achieve in the time that we had, we began building our app.
The main focus of our work was to make our app resemble an average PECS board to keep a sense of familiarity and ease of use with our app. We'll begin at the start of our app when you first load it up. When we open the app, we are taken to the login screen. For the sake of our prototype, we have the PIN only taking the string value of 1. Once we type in our PIN and press login in this menu, we will appear in the main PECS board view. Here we can see the cards globally available and the location-based cards when we're in certain geographical zones. Here we're able to build sentences in our sentence bar and access recent cards utilized in the recents bar, with both of these bars located at the bottom of the view.
One aspect I took on was the ability to add new cards to the PECS board. For this example, let's say you're a science teacher preparing the PECS board for a lesson on different types of fish, and you want a user to be able to talk about bass. To do so, we can click this plus button in the top right. This will allow us to specify information about the new card and create it quickly. We can type in bass as the card name and add a picture of a bass to represent it on the board. Then we hit done to add it to our board. Now that we've added the bass card, we can join the conversation about fish. To do so, we tap the cards we want it to say, then press the play button, which will read.
Where do bass live?
Uh-oh, the text-to-speech pronounced bass wrong. To fix this, we can hold on our card to edit it, then add a phonetic pronunciation. If a card has one of these, it will say this instead of the card's name. Now we could go back and test our sentence again.
Where do bass live?
Now it can join in on the conversation. But we won't be saying bass often, only when we're in our science classroom. Or what if we have a card that represents a physical object only in a particular location? In that case, we can go back and edit the card so it isn't globally available. Then we need to go to our map view to add it to a location.
Once a user opens up the map view, they are able to locate a list of pre-made locations designed by our group. When viewing this list, they are able to locate a pin, edit a pin, and also delete a pin if they feel it is unnecessary for their use. A user is also able to add a pin in the map on 2 ways, by pressing on the plus button in the top right corner, or also doing a long hold on their desired location. When you add a location, a screen will pop up prompting you to add details to the location, such as name, notes, or any other type of details that you want to add, as well as a radius and PECS cards that might be available for the situation. The radius will help define if the PEC cards are available and when they shouldn't be shown in the PECS card view. All these attributes will be able to be updated through the edit form if needed. When a person adds a new PECS card in the PECS card view, they are able to go through the map view and add them onto the location device.
We've gone over the ability for our app to update its contents based on the user's location, but what if the user gets lost on the way to one of our defined locations? Well, we have created an interactive AR view that will help guide the user to one of our. To enter AR mode, press the camera icon on the main page. The AR scene uses core machine learning and advanced image detection to create anchor locations in the AR space, and then use those locations to create elements in the AR space around the user that will guide the user to a specific location. For our example, we have created waypoints that guide the user through the Boise State Library and guide them to the GIM lab from the outside. We designed this scene to make use of signage that's already present within the library, And alongside that, we've also created examples of signs that could easily be created and added to a variety of locations around campus. To start, the user will enter the AR view, and then the user will scan the first image. The user must make sure to be standing within 2 feet of the image, and they must have their phone held upright to ensure the accuracy of the image anchor's position. Then, once the image is scanned, a 3D object will appear in the AR scene, and the user is directed towards that location to find the next image. Once there, the user will scan another image, and the next object will appear. These signs will guide the user through the library until they reach their destination.
Thank you so much for watching our video. We had an amazing time learning about Swift in Xcode. We wish we could have added a few more things that we showed in our previous wireframe. Unfortunately, we do not have a developer's license, which limited our resources, and as well as we only had a month and a half to produce this. But we are very proud of the work that we have done, and thank you so much for watching.